Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 22 All-Stars live feed spoilers. The veto ceremony is coming a little bit later today. It may actually be happening as we're recording this. It'll be over soon. It may be over when you're watching, but we'll tell you what's going to happen. We also have a little bit of conversation about someone finally maybe looking at Cody as a target sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Eyes are being opened. Too bad it's happening at what's probably going to be the final five when there may not be a chance to get rid of him.
There's always a chance.
I want to believe in that. I really, really do. Quick programming note. Big Brother tonight. It is happening after football. My guy Mahomes, I'm claiming him. He's from Texas, so you got to finish this game soon. I think it starts at like 7. Maybe it'll be over at 10 Eastern. I don't have any idea.
I like how you think he's the whole team.
Hey, he's the whole team for me. I watched the Super Bowl. That's the one time I've watched a game with him. So just finish the job. With our luck, this is going to be like overtime, and this game show's going to start at midnight or something. Please, let's have Big Brother soon.
So we're also going to be covering Dancing with the Stars. We have been since it started. So that video will be up tonight. So if you're also watching that or you're deciding to watch that tonight and not DVR'd or whatever, and you want to come back and talk to us about Dancing with the Stars, we'll have that up tonight as well.
Next week as well, The Bachelorette, Amazing Race, they're coming. We're talking about those. And if you do enjoy this video, subscribe, give us a like, support us further. Check those links to the store and our Patreon.
Okay, so when it comes to is Cody going to use the veto or not, it's probably good to expect the expected with this, that he is not probably going to use it. I just don't see any scenario where he does. I don't know why he would. He really doesn't need to. This is going to work out for Cody again.
Out-of-body experience. That is going to be what happens at this point.
Yeah.
The fandom is going to transmit themselves into Cody. He's going to put Memphis on. Okay, he's not doing this. So Tyler is probably going home, save for like some last-second opportunity where he finds a way to sort of pull a massive rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, and I mean, he's trying. He did have a really good conversation with Enzo. We know that Enzo, of course, is with Cody, but I think that Enzo in his heart of hearts knows that he can't beat Cody and that really nobody can beat Cody. So this conversation, it just, I think it's really sitting with Enzo. It's hard to know because whenever you see Enzo talking to somebody, it feels like he's agreeing with everybody. So you don't really know always what's real and what's not.
Like, they talked about how Cody could beat everybody at the end of the show, and Enzo seemed to agree with that idea. Like, the implication I get from this conversation is that Tyler could be someone who would target Cody so that Enzo doesn't have to, and that's a really great idea, but because we don't know what Enzo is really thinking, and even in the diary room, who knows if he's telling us the truth at this point, Mr. Big Move Enzo wanting to make the big moves.
Yeah, and this is actually a really good move for Enzo if he's able to keep Tyler, because if Tyler goes after Cody for him, that's not anything that's then on him. And Tyler is somebody that I actually think Enzo can beat at the end because there are people on the jury like Danny who saw that Tyler tried to quit and is not having it and is not going to give him the win for that.
I think there's two questions I think Enzo has to ask himself. Like, number one, how mad would Cody be if he was to flip and pull something? And I just, in my heart of hearts, I don't think Enzo's going to do anything without Cody's blessing at this point.
No. However, Enzo has lots of influence over Cody and over sort of everybody. The way that he's been able to sort of manipulate with his social game has been pretty aces. And he's been able to sort of use his social game so much that Cody is saying yo all the time now, in between also saying like. So there is something there. If Enzo can take the time, and there is time, to convince Cody that keeping Tyler is the better move, then he can execute that whole move, and then Enzo really deserves to win the game.
He just needs to find a way to make it clear to Cody that Tyler, if he stays, could go after Memphis or something to that degree so that he feels better. Because I think the other question here, of course, is is there really a big difference between Tyler and Christmas in the sense of, could Christmas be someone who goes after Cody if she gets power? And I'm sure Enzo, because Tyler for some silly reason also said in here that everyone hates Christmas and Christmas probably isn't getting a lot of votes. Like, why are you saying that, Tyler? Like, really?
Yeah, that's not helpful. That's not helping you. You need to be putting that on yourself. To be like, no one's gonna vote for me. Where's the ER voice?
No one's gonna
vote for me. Yeah.
He should be doing something like that. Yeah, everyone knows that Christmas sucks in the social game. You don't need to remind Enzo of that. But the other thing I think is that Tyler doesn't, I think, know enough that Christmas is sort of wandering around and just sort of really playing up that narrative of Tyler doesn't want to be here. It sounds like they might be able to get like video messages in the jury house or something, that he may be able to get a message from Angela, which he apparently is dying to have at this point. I don't know why he couldn't wait a couple more weeks, but still.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks. Like, just get your money and go home in a couple weeks. We're almost at the end, Tyler. You can wait.
Yeah, I think Tyler's fine now, Christmas. I don't get me wrong. I was very annoyed at Tyler when he was trying to he didn't really seem like he wanted to be there. But there's a difference between going home before the jury and getting to spend time with Angela, and then going and sitting in the jury house, which does not sound like fun at all. And you don't really get Angela other than, I don't know, maybe a video message.
Yeah, I mean, I do still think that's gonna be something that comes into play of whoever is sitting beside him at the end is going to use that against him, but it was weeks ago, and since then, he seems to have gotten himself together.
Let's look ahead here now, because Tyler's probably going to go. We'll see what other campaigns he has, but Memphis has now made this clear to Enzo. I want Nicole out at Final Five. Like, that is his goal. He is ready to find a way to get rid of Nicole, except he seems to be more on board with having Christmas with HOH than himself. That way, if she wants to put up, like, Nicole and Cody, he doesn't have to deal with any of, like, the Cody backlash.
Yeah, and that seems like something Christmas would be looking at, to be able to go after Nicole for Memphis. But then again, it also just sort of depends on what this next HOH is. If it's like an endurance, or if it's the slip and slide, or, what is it gonna be?
Let's talk the Jess favorite slip and slide competition here for a moment, because Cody is not competing. He would probably win it if he was, so.
Yeah, and Memphis is not going to do well in this. Nicole's not going to do well in this. Enzo could probably do well in this. But if he just throws it over to Christmas or Tyler, who would both, I think, do well in this, that could end up doing well for Enzo, because nobody is talking about getting rid of Enzo. Like, 0 people are talking about getting rid of Enzo.
If this is the slip and slide, Enzo, I have a suggestion. If you want to make Jess an even bigger fan of you, just fall down repeatedly and have a series of great wipeouts. You can entertain us immensely. And instead, Christmas can win the HOH and do your dirty work. Or Tyler, if you decide to keep him instead.
I actually think that Enzo needs to win this HOH. I really, really think he does, because the people that are left, I mean, Tyler's won a few things. If he stays, he's won a few things. Cody's won a couple HOHs. Memphis has won a couple HOHs. He has won one. And in the new school way of playing, you don't want to be sitting up against someone who's won 2 or 3 HOHs and then try to explain your social game. Because while social game matters, and there are people in the past who have won purely on social game, we're not in that era right now. People do look at your resume, and it's not just HOHs. It's who did you get out during that time. That stuff all adds up. Enzo won 1 HOH a million years ago, and he did barely anything with it. He made no big move. He has to win either this week or next week. Like, he needs to win.
I do think he needs to win something. I think it's all going to come down to, I guess, number one, what the HOH is. I feel good it's going to be some sort of endurance, because we've already had a ton of questions recently. We haven't had that thing where they're like spinning around. I don't know if that's something that's too elaborate for them to set up right now.
Yeah, we haven't had that. We haven't had, what were you saying, the chicken wire one?
Oh, yeah, the chicken. Yeah, I don't know if we're having the by the way, I would be fine if we don't have the chicken wire one. I don't really like the chicken wire one all that much.
No.
It seems like they're over-relying on it. But, yeah, I think that's going to be a big component to all of this. But here's where things get interesting to me, though. Christmas, she told Memphis that she would rather have Cody go next over Nicole. So there is, if you want to see Cody in danger, are you having to venture into, what is this? The dangerous, murky waters of rooting for Christmas to win something?
Listen, Cody's probably going to win this season, so I would like to see him have some sort of adversity. I want to see him hit that block once, at least just once. He needs to be able to have something that he gets on the other side of. You can't have an all-star who just sails to the end with no problems. It's a bit dull, and this season has been a bit dry, but that doesn't mean it has to end dry. We can have a little bit of adversity going on. So are we rooting for Christmas? No. There's other people. Maybe Tyler will stay and he'll put up Cody. Maybe. I don't know.
Now it is time, though. The clown car has been sort of like sputtering out for a while since David left. But guess what, everyone? I feel like we are coming into a situation where Christmas, Memphis, and Enzo may all be in the clown car together. And then this upcoming HOH, Nicole may show up. And I don't know, what's a fast car? Like a Maserati or something?
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know cars. But the thing is that like Christmas was also sort of saying, I kind of, if it's an endurance, I kind of hope Memphis, she was talking to Memphis, I kind of hope you or Enzo win. It's like, okay, Christmas, so apparently you really don't want to win the HOH. Memphis sounds like he would kind of prefer Christmas win. Enzo, I don't know how much he really wins. Are all three of you just gonna not try and then Nicole is gonna beat you all?
Yeah, it's a very weird time that everybody's like, I don't want to win the HOH. Like, guys, you're down to the end here. You guys should be trying to win everything you can get your hands on. This sort of idea of hiding behind other people, you don't need to do that anymore, and you really shouldn't be anymore. This is your life in the game. Yeah. It's just a few weeks. Just win your way to the end, guys. If you can do it, then do it.
I think ultimately this is an HOH that Nicole is going to have to win, because I think Enzo, it benefits him to get her out, can split up Nicole and Cody, get Cody to himself for some inexplicable reason. If you guys don't want to get rid of Cody, at least you should get rid of Nicole. And these odds are going to be stacked pretty dramatically against her. I mean, it's going to be presumably 3 versus 1 if Enzo actually does want to target her, which I guess we don't know for sure just yet.
No, we don't know yet.
But we'll see where the rest of the day comes. We'll see what happens after the veto ceremony. I'm kind of hoping we see Christmas freak out, like, just a little bit. Can we please have, like, a small element of fun here, guys?
It would be interesting to see. We have seen her freak out a few times this season, but I have a feeling she's going to keep her cool about it, because with the little tiny amount of campaigning she's done, and Nicole is still complaining that Christmas is not really campaigning to her or to anyone, she needs to sort of have something going on here.
She needs to do...
And she needs to not freak out. If she just holds it in, she doesn't need a campaign, she should be all right.
Here's the only scenario that could hurt Christmas. Nicole's already upset. Christmas freaks out about something, or Christmas doesn't campaign to her the next couple days. Nicole gets super weird about it, decides, you know what? I need to be having the ring kiss, so I'm going to get rid of Christmas now because of it.
It's possible. I mean, if Christmas keeps irritating Nicole as much as she is, there's not many votes here, Christmas. You do need Nicole.
People get bored in this house.
Yes, they do.
It happens. Paranoia could settle in.
And things shift.
They do.
Especially at the end of the game.
Yeah, I hope we have some sort of shift. It's like, I want competitiveness. I want the battle of the bros, and if Tyler goes, I feel like I don't really get it. I don't get the hype.
You're not going to get it. I'm sorry.
That's all I wanted after all of the disappointments. Janelle, Kaser, Ian, Davon, everything has been taken. I need the battle. I may have to eat a dog treat if Christmas wins. Why are things not... Okay,
I will make you a fresh batch. It'll be all good.
It's not an ad. That's not encouraging.
It is encouraging. You don't want stale dog treats. Listen, we'll have a fresh batch. It'll be all good.
We're going to wrap this video up now.
We'll take pictures and put it up on Instagram as well in case you miss it.
In case I spiral further. But what do you guys think Tyler can do moving forward? Who do you want to see win the next HOH? Share in the comments. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, support us further. Check those links to the store, our Patreon, and we'll see you here next time.